Welcome back to this special edition of Hannity. Nick Shirley says he has received death threats after his reporting helped expose alleged widespread fraud among the Somali community in Tim Walz's Minnesota, which the alleged daycare centers are now struggling to make excuses for. Like this one in Minneapolis, claiming their documents were stolen in a break-in, despite a different story from the police, who say the facility didn't actually report that anything was stolen. Now, despite the massive fraud scandal unraveling in Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz decided to unveil a new welfare program for residents in his state, offering all Minnesota residents up to 20 weeks of paid leave per year for medical reasons, including to, quote, bond with a newborn child. But finally, Tim Walz may have to answer for the alleged fraud taking place in his state, as House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is now calling on him to testify before Congress. Chairman Comer joins us now with more. Chairman, now this is a hearing that I think I would very much like to participate in, but you've called up the governor as well as Keith Ellison. Now, both of those gentlemen served in the United States Congress. They know what this is all about, and you've given them more than a month to prepare to get ready. Do you expect them to show up?
I do expect them to show up. This is the biggest story in America right now. The mainstream media is finally starting to cover it. They thought it would just be a 24 or 48-hour news cycle, but this is what the American people are interested in. They're outraged. Everyone works hard. They pay taxes. Everyone hates to pay taxes. We're struggling through paying for Christmas presents and making ends meet at the end of the year. And then you see with your own eyes the massive amounts of fraud taking place in Minnesota. And most Americans have enough common sense to know this is probably happening in other states. And one thing that all these states are going to have in common is they're run by Democrat governors and Democrat mayors. So I think this is going to be a huge issue that's not going to go away. If Tim Walz and or Keith Ellison refuse to show up for this committee hearing, then I think that's going to be an admission of guilt. This is going to be their opportunity to defend themselves. This is going to be their due process to explain what happened. But what we're hearing, Jason, and we're in communication with dozens of Minnesota state employees, in addition to lawmakers and mayors and stakeholders all over Minnesota, they've been warned about this. Ellison and Walz have been told countless times by countless people that this fraud was taking place. In fact, Jason Lewis, who came into Congress with me and Mike Johnson in our class, he's testified in an education committee 10 years ago. That this exact fraud with these daycare centers was taking place. So they've turned a blind eye to it for political reasons. This is a huge political voting bloc in Minnesota, and we're finding out it's a huge donor bloc in Minnesota politics for the Democrat Party and the Democrat machine. So I think they'll show up, and by that time, there's going to be a lot of evidence that's out in the open for the American people to see.
I guess the frustration, and I'm sure you've heard it, is that if you're a regular taxpaying, I do my job, I work hard, I salute the flag, I pay my taxes, you just feel like a chump. You just feel like, hey, these guys can roll in here and they can defraud the government. There can be stories, there can be congressional hearings, there can be all sorts of things, whistleblowers, but nobody's got handcuffs on them and nobody's in jail. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so frustrating. Now, there have been a few prosecutions, but to the scale of the fraud, why aren't these people already in handcuffs? When I was chairman of the Oversight Committee, you're the chairman, they didn't give us handcuffs. Mm-hmm. But this just begs the question, like, what's it going to take to actually arrest and prosecute somebody?
My biggest frustration over the past 12 months as chairman of the Oversight Committee under the Trump administration is that people haven't been held accountable in a sense that they haven't been slapped with handcuffs and they haven't been put in jail. If I could do that, we would already have a bunch of people in jail. There would be a lot of the Biden family in jail, and Dr. Fauci would be in jail, and the list goes on and on. But we do the investigations, as you know, Jason. But for the first time since I've been chairman of the Oversight Committee, this will be I've been chairman for 3 years. We had 2 years of Biden, and you know he wasn't going to do anything. But for the first time, I feel like every single person in the Trump administration, every cabinet secretary is on this. Kristi Noem is on this. The HUD secretary is on this. Brooke Rollins is on this. I mean, you've got Pam Bondi is on this. Everyone wants to hold these people accountable. We want to see people put in jail. We want to see politicians held accountable. We want to see these criminals from Somalia that have defrauded the federal government for billions of dollars. We want to see them not only held accountable, but we want to see them deported back to where they came from. And we want these programs to stop. We want our politicians, and when I say politicians, I'm mainly talking about the Democrat politicians in these blue cities and blue states. We want them to start taking the taxpayers' hard-earned tax dollars they send to the state capitals and to Washington, D.C. They want them to take it seriously and to get the backs of the taxpayers. That's what we try to do on the Oversight Committee. But where we haven't been successful is seeing people, prosecuted by the Department of Justice. I'm pretty confident that you're going to see a lot of arrests in this and hopefully a lot of deportations and a whole different change in culture with these welfare programs. There's too much welfare in America. We can't afford the welfare that we have. And there are too many illegals in this country. The Trump administration has done a tremendous job cutting off the flow of illegals into the United States. They're doing their best to deport people. But I think ground zero is Minnesota right now. And I think we're finally going to see some action. I think the people that watch Sean Hannity's show every day, they're going to be very satisfied at the end of the day.
Well, and you know what Congress needs to do? Stop funding it. They can't defraud it if the money's not there for them. So I know you're of like mind there. Chairman Comer, look forward to seeing those hearings coming up. Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.